Someone inquired about my Bagserk retexture project for Skyrim. This is my super modded build here. So far I have about 3,500 mods. I haven't counted, to be honest, I haven't counted in like months, so there's probably a lot more than that. But I'm going to go through the things that I've recently tweaked in between now and the last video. So for Guts, I think the most outstanding thing I've modified with my Guts character is his skin. Well, you can't see it here because he's wearing clothing, but I went back and I tweaked his skin texture, specifically the scar on his chest. It protrudes a little more. You're already tracking like the realistic lip um, bump mapping and the complete texture overhaul to be more realistic. Of course, his eyes being photorealistic. Sure, I covered all of these things in the last video, so I'm going to move forward. Since the last video, another character that I updated is of course Griffith. Again, there's 3K or 3,000 mods here, so it takes me a while to get around the menu. So for Griffith, the last thing that I tweaked is more than likely probably his hair. I just added a little bit of sheen or shine to his hair since the last video, and of course I went through and tweaked some skin issues that I saw myself personally. As you can see, the end result is this Griffith just blends so well with the world now. He fits lighting. Of course, all of these HD or hyper realistic textures that I've replaced his eyes, hair, lips, and skin with, they help too. But they're no longer jarring, in my opinion. I don't think Griffith is jarring anymore in the world space. So that's the last tweak that I've made to the character, though, for the most part. We're gonna move along here. Let's go to a few. I really don't like these hair mods. I didn't these hair mods aren't like I didn't use like an NPC overhaul to add these weird hairs to the NPCs in the base game. So they all use vanilla assets, which by the way are replaced with HDT replacers. So as far as the females go, I think the last thing I tweaked was, well, let's just see here. So here's Shirk or Shirke. What I tweaked with her was her body. Her body model didn't match the clothing that she's wearing. I went back and put something more appropriate in. Her body weight is supposed to be 0. This is what she looks like in game and stuff. So yeah, I think it's more accurate to the manga. For her skin textures, I went through and redid her face. I gave her hyper realistic, photorealistic eyes, skin, eyebrows, hair, which I covered in a previous video. The only outstanding change here is her eyelashes are super HD, and of course I completely removed the cartoony shading around her eyes and gave her bags underneath her eyes. It something about it makes her very, she looks so much better than the default assets, in my opinion. It really does wonders for this character's appearance. But yeah, that's the tweak. She has a body. Oh, by the way, my bodies are I believe CB. Well, of course they're body slided, but this is CBBE HDT for the body. It's full HDT, so everything moves and reacts to whatever touches it. And just personal preference. I like the freedom, of being able to make this as realistic as possible. As far as the females goes, another tweak that I've made in the female area is of course Lady Farnese. Let's change her brow color here. I don't like that color for her brows. That's better. Actually, she looks better with an angry. There's a brow type I like on her. This one. Okay, so as far as Farnese goes, what I tweaked with her is pretty much her hair color. I think her hair color was kind of off in the previous video. It was like a pale kind of a white, look more like an off-white looking color. It didn't look good in my opinion. But this is, you know, the change I made to her hair. Just gave it more life, more color. It blends better with the world. It looks more like the other characters. Of course, besides the photorealistic eyes now that I've integrated. In the previous video, her eyes didn't. I don't know what happened with her eyes, but they weren't high res like this. But now, as you can see, they're super realistic. Um, I did a little bit of tweaking to her face texture too. Her specifically her normal map and her lips. Her lips have slight modification, but it's barely noticeable. But yeah, this is my lady for our niece. I have no idea what weight I play with her at. I'll do 0 for now. She's kind of thin in the manga and the anime. But yeah, this is my far niece. As you can see, she looks incredible in the game, dude. So I'm gonna move forward here. I'm trying to keep this video short, by the way. So I did Farnies, I did Shirke, I did Guts. I think it's the last one. So for my last tweak that I've made, what did I do? Lakaska. Casca. I think I just played around with her hair. Neck seam. The neck seam is completely gone. In the previous video, you'll notice that they had an egregious, heinous neck seam on the character. The body and the head just completely were different from one another, and it was jarring, in my opinion. Me being a perfectionist that I am, I went back and I, of course, modified and tweaked it so that it is perfectly matching one another. Um, Yeah, you know the whole shtick with the hyper realistic, photorealistic eyes, lips, skin, her eyebrows, her hair, everything's been completely replaced. It's just so she looks right in the world, you know. There's no more jarring anime characters. I can't believe I didn't pay attention to the neck seam here. Let's show off the other neck seam that I fixed too. I just showed the character, but I didn't pay attention to it like I should have. Yeah, Farnese doesn't have a neck seam anymore. It's, as you can see, it's completely gone. Which I don't know, it took some work, but you know I got it done. Jeez, it was heinous in the default mod. If any of you guys have the Bagserk mod on Skyrim, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. I went through a lot, but it's gone now. And yeah, those are all my tweaks for Bagserk. Again, someone hit me up on like DeviantArt and they inquired the status, and this is the status. It's still ongoing, and as you can see, it is beautiful, and I'm taking my time and meticulously doing it until or tweaking it until perfection. That's it.